Okay, so we are in the sixth session of module 2, and let me tell you, in next session you may have your test. Okay, as you are aware, at the end of every module we are taking test. Okay, so in next lecture you will see a module test in which all the questions were related to module 2 only. Okay, here in this particular lecture we'll discuss about ethical decision making. Why ethical decision making is important for the organization, for the people, for the boss as well. Sometimes we are not aware what kind of decision one should have to make, and that's why we are being in a trap. I hope it is not discussed, right? 2.6, we are in 2.6, right? Have we discussed this? No. Yeah, your class and EC2 both are having differences now because few of lectures were cancelled in one of the week. Now, so here we'll discuss about some of the traps. Sometime you must be having this kind of experience in your life as well. Sometime your friends are also telling you to do something, and they are also saying that, look, this is the correct way, this is the right perspective, but we are ignoring it, we are not accepting it. Okay, and why this is happening? Because we are in some kind of trap. We are not having that mindset to accept this, and it's sometimes it's not our fault as well. We are not looking the thing in the correct way. Sometimes if other people are showing the way, but still we are rejecting it. This is happening because there are few psychological traps, and due to this we are not seeing what is ethical, what is unethical, right? So we'll discuss about this. We'll even see some of the example in the personal life as well as in the corporate life, how in the corporate life this kind of psychological trap can be observed among the people. So we'll discuss about the same. Then how corporation, the organization, should have to make ethical decision making, why it is important for them. We'll discuss about this. Okay, that's our main perspective. Let's start with first, that is psychological traps, right? So psychological traps are similar to fish traps. We are aware that when there is a trap for fish, they are not aware. They are just seeing that as a food, and they just want to eat that food. They are not aware by eating that food they can get a trouble, a big trouble. Like they can even lose their life because they are not aware. So it is similar to fish traps. Some of these traps distort perception of right and wrong so that one actually believes his or her unethical behavior is right. Like I told you, at that time you are not looking at the correct perspective. Even if somebody is telling you that, look, your way is not correct, but still we are not accepting it because we are in psychological trap. So if people are not aware of these traps, they can act as illusion or web of deception. For them, this is the only perspective. They are not ready to accept other thing. So it's kind of illusion for them. They won't see the reality, the actual picture. Okay, there are three psychological traps, and we'll discuss about all of them one by one. The first one is primary, then personality, and then defensive. And I'll also give you examples so that you can relate with all of them one by one. And this is also one of the important thing that we are discussing. So from the exam point of view also, you can consider this as very important thing. Let's focus on the first primary trap, like what you are seeing here. We are seeing here few dogs, right? And there is one girl as well. Dogs are famous for what? Loyalty. Second thing, why we humans are keeping dogs as a pet? Why? Sorry? Security. Okay, but still I am looking for the actual answer. It is easy to train, right? If you are having a small puppy, then you can definitely uh, do some of the X from those puppy, and they can get easily trained. It's very easy to train them, right? And that's why they are our pets, humans pets, right? So primary traps is similar to it. It says that predominantly comprised of external stimuli. That means sometime because of external stimuli, people are not accepting it. And the correct another statement is obedience to authority. Generally, you are also finding this kind of people around us, that they are very obedient to all the higher authority. You can take the example in the personal life. Sometime you will find out few people who are very obedient to their parents, right? They are ready to do anything. Whatever their parents are saying, they will do it. Similarly, you will find few people who are obedient to their friends as well. Whatever the friends is saying, whether it is right or wrong, they are not checking it. They are just following what their best friend is saying. Okay, so this is kind of obedience to authority. Sometimes this can also lead to a big trouble. It can also make you to do some unethical work and you won't realize it, because according to you, whatever your friend is suggesting, that's the ethical way. You are not checking other perspective. If they are telling you to try something like smoking or something, like, then people are doing it because their best friend suggested this and they insisted this. Okay, so this is the classic example regarding obedience to authority. If we check the corporate perspective here, let's get the example. When you are part of corporate world, you will even see few people who are always doing all the thing which is prescribed or told by their boss. If the boss is ordering something, they are ready to do it. They won't check whether it is right way or wrong way. Okay, I shown you one video in one of the module where Sardarji, one of the Sardarji was there, and the peon, the watchman was there. Okay, if you remember. So watchman was doing all the personal work of the director, the boss as well. According to his job prescription, he need to do the work which is suitable to his profile. But still, he was following all the order given by his boss, because he is considering that if I'm following the orders of my boss, I am doing ethical. So this is also another example you can consider in about obedience to authority. It is not only related to lower level job. Okay, you can even consider middle level job and the higher level job as well. At that time also, people are not some of the people are just following the boss order, and they won't check whether it is right or wrong. And their boss are also making them to do some of their personal work, which is actually not right. Sometimes they may also give you some unethical work as well, and people are not checking what is there in their parcel. Okay, if they are supposed to deliver the parcel at one place, they are not checking whether something suspicious is there or not. They are just doing it. So this is also classic example regarding obedience to authority. Do remember all the second name as well. Like for primary trap, we discuss regarding obedience to authority. Sometime in the exam, they may tell you to write down something related to obedience to authority. So it is nothing but a primary trap. Okay. Now we'll discuss about the personality trap. Few pictures are also there. If we look at the picture, then we are not considering that as very incomplete picture. We are somewhere considering that picture as the correct one. Like you can check the picture of panda, right? We are definitely calling that picture as panda, even though few lines are missing. If you check the last one, right, there you will notice that somewhere white triangle is shaped. Okay, even though lines are not there. Why? Because somewhere we are very in a hurry to find out the conclusion. Okay, so this is about need for closure. That's the second name. It says that consists exclusively of internal stimuli in the form of various personality traits that make people more vulnerable to wrongdoing. I'll give you examples so that you can understand more. So The second name for this trap is need for closure. That is the desire for the definite answer on some topic, any answer, as opposed to confusion and ambiguity. Sometimes you are just not checking the other perspective. Let's say that some people just made a good impression in your mind. If they do something wrong, they still you won't accept it. If we take the example regarding your best friend, your childhood best friend, right? You are aware about that person's nature, his behavior, what the person will say in what kind of situation. If some stranger is telling you that your best friend did something wrong, will you accept it easily? No, because in our mind that person's impression is something else. We are considering that as a good human being. So if somebody is saying that the person did something wrong, we are not ready to accept it, because this is the personality trap. I'll even give you example regarding the corporate world. So it says that if co-workers ignore, justify, or accept unethical behavior, this supports the view of transgressor that he or she did not do anything wrong, or if they did, that is not that big deal. Okay, let me give you example. Let's say that you are working in a company. There are 5 people, and now there is one person newly joined in the organization, and that person's interview was taken by your boss. Boss got very impressed at the just first interview, and he was impressed and telling everyone that, look, we found a very for our team. Let's say that after 1 month or 2 months, if that guy did something wrong, and you are telling this to your boss, that the new guy, the recently joined guy, did something wrong, then boss, there is high possibility that boss will ignore that, because in his mind the impression of that person is very good. Okay, so sometimes people are ignoring the unethical work done by other people. Even I just gave you example regarding the new person joining your team, but it is also quite possible that the one who is there in your team and the one who is very close to your boss, very favorite of your boss, if you are complaining about that guy, then also boss will not take your side. Boss will take that other person's side, because he made a good impression on the boss mind and he's very close to your boss. So this is also another trap, that is personality trap. So co-workers with a high need of closure can potentially discount unethical behavior, like I give you example as well, right? So they won't accept if something wrong is done, they won't even ready to accept the same. Let's go for the third one, that is defensive trap. Like you can even see the picture. Okay. This is also known as false concession effect. Let's read it and I'll give you example. Although some of them can at the time be counted as a primary trap, defensive trap are basically attempt to find easy way to reverse course after misdeed has been committed. If some people did something wrong, and if you are telling them that, look, you did something wrong, so you will see them presenting some excuses that, look, I'm not doing anything wrong. They are not ready to accept whatever mistake they did, and they are going to present some other examples as well, like look, all the people are doing, so if I'm doing this, I'm not wrong here. You can take the classic example of traffic rules. Okay, many times people are not following the traffic rules, and if they are in hurry, they are not looking for the traffic lights as well. They are just in hurry, so they are breaking those rules. And if you are telling your friend, those who the person who just broke the traffic rule, that you need to stop there, so you will see argument like, see, nobody is stopping there, so why should we stop at the traffic lights? Okay, because they are in the defensive trap. For them, if everybody is doing something, then it is not wrong. Okay, so for most part, defensive traps are movement that are reaction to two internal stimuli, that is guilt and shame. They don't want to accept that they committed a mistake. They want to avoid their own guilt and shame, and that's why they will present different arguments. So like I told you, it is also known as false concession effect. Okay, I hope you got the idea about everything, and we even took different examples. Even let's discuss about the corporate example so that you can relate there. um, in a company you will see some of the rules and regulation. If there is no punishment attached to some of the rules and regulation, so there is high chance that few people will not follow the rules. If there is a rule that you need to come on time at 9 o'clock, that's your office time, but nobody is getting punishment for being late. So if your colleague is coming continuously late, and as in boss or as in colleague, if you are telling your colleague that, look, you need to come on time, then you will see argument like, see, everybody is coming late. So why you are just pointing out to me, right? So they are in defensive trap and they are not ready to accept that they did something wrong. You can find many of the example and you will experience those example while you are in corporate life. We'll go for next part. It is how corporation observe ethics in their organizations. So we'll discuss about different points. The first is publishing in-house code of ethics. This is the mandatory. If it is not specified that what is the correct way, what is the wrong way, then people won't get the idea. Okay, people won't do in a proper way. So it is very much mandatory for all the organization to specify what are the code of conducts, what are the code of rules, code of ethics for their own organization. And we are aware that from organization to organization, some of the rules will definitely get changed. Some of the rules will remain common, like being on time. That's the very common rule for all the organization, irrespective of where you are working. But some of the rules will definitely be related to that particular company. If there is a manufacturing unit and some of the there is a high chance that you may get some kind of health issue, then you need to wear a mask there, or you need to wear a helmet, or those kind of rules are mandatory. Okay, so it is very much needed here. The second one is employ people with a reputation for high standards of ethics behavior at the top levels. Normally you will see that even we have seen many times in the news that some person who was working in Uber or somewhere, Ola or somewhere, that person is now appointed as the CEO or CFO of Paytm or somewhere. Okay, why this kind of things are happening? First is definitely about their performance, about their work. The second one is about their reputation as well. If the person is highly reputed in market, then they are easily getting a higher post in some other company as well, because company wants themselves to get identified with that person's name. Like you can take the example of Sundar Pichai, right? He was working there very hard in a Google from last many years, and then looking at his performance, looking at his work, he got promoted. Company won't promote the person who is doing many unethical work, because it will set the example among the remaining employee as well, right? You won't find a bad guy leading the top uh, management, okay, unless the person is founder. Sometimes the founder, we cannot replace founder, right? So if they are having some intention, bad intention, like you can take the example of Kingfisher, right, and Vijay Mallya. So one cannot replace because the person founded the company. So this is a basic step that a company should have to take. The third one is incorporate consideration of ethics into performance review. We are aware that in company, at the end of financial year or at the end of annual year, the normal year, you will see they are reviewing all the people's performance. It is mandatory to give them promotion, to give them increment in their salary. So if they are keeping few criteria regarding ethics, then also remaining people will follow it, because For them, now it is mandatory to do it. On the basis of this, they will get the promotion or increment in their salary. Let's take few example. Like the first one is being on time. If it is also checked that how many times you missed, you came late, and for most of the time, if you are coming on time, then it's good for you, and it will add few rank in your performance review. Secondly, how if the person is taking less leaves, okay, then also it can add there in performance review, and they can get a good score. So if this kind of criterias are there, people will get motivated. Other people will also get motivated, and they will feel that yes, I need to follow all the rules and regulation because it is counted in my performance review. So I need to follow it. Reward ethical behavior. If many times people, the organizations are also having a few award ceremony like employee of the month or quarter of the month or something, and there if they are also giving the importance to the person who is following ethics in their behavior, then also it will set the example. If in your company one guy who is always coming before time and working very hard and also staying there after office hours, if your boss is giving some kind of award to this guy that he's very consistent in office hours, he's doing wonderful, if this kind of praising words are also done, then the person will feel valued, and other will also try to do the same in the near future. So reward ethical behavior. If somebody is coming on time, if person is taking less leave, or the person is doing some wonderful work and with perfection as well, so if rewards are given to them, they will feel valued, and this is also another step. Many of the MNCs like Nike, Coca-Cola, GM, IBM, even Indian companies like ICICI, Tisco, Infosys, Dr. Reddy's Lab, NTPC, ONGC, Indian Oil, and several others want to see as a social responsible, have issued the codes governing all the type of activities of their employees. Big companies, when they are highly reputed in the market, they also want their name in a good list. If they did something wrong, then it can definitely harm their performance, their sales as well. So sometimes you will see that many of the magazines are listing down top 10 companies where people like to work. Like this kind of list are frequently coming out. So this is also a kind of achievement for the company. And to have that kind of achievement, companies are also focusing on ethical behavior among their employees so that they can have this kind of title and they can show it. Like you can take the example of Enron scandal that we discussed. Enron Corporation got America's most innovative company, that title, and they were continuously focusing on innovation at that the starting time. So it is also adding value to companies' reputation. So this is also another need. Now we'll go for next part. Yeah, just a minute. Yeah, let me share the window once again. So now we'll discuss about how to solve unethical issues at the workplace. Yeah. The first one is definitely workplace code of conduct, like we discussed in a previous part as well. It is mandatory to have. The second one is accept feedback or complaint. You will normally see feedback box or complaint box at some place in your company. Many of the companies are keeping it. Even if you are visiting a few food outlets like Domino's or somewhere, they are also having this box where customers can uh, write down their feedback or their complaint in the box, and they will get the idea about the same. So in house, if you are having this mechanism, this system to collect a feedback of your employee, then top management will get the idea what kind of unethical practices are happening in their different level. Otherwise they won't get the idea. Okay. Because there are many of the levels, there are many of the heads as well in one organization. You can even take the example of Marwadi. Many of the branches are there, many of the HODs are also there, directors are also there. So if there is a clear system that if people are the employee are finding out some difficulty, they are facing some trouble, or they want to stop the unethical behavior of their boss, they want to complain about the same, so they can write down directly to the top heads. Here also in Marwadi, you are finding out the link of direct to chairman or something, right? So if you are facing some trouble, you can directly write down to the top management. So it is very much necessary to stop unethical issues. The third one is least consequence for unethical behavior. Right. So if the rules and regulations are there, but if what kind of problem, what kind of punishment you will face if it is not listed down, then also people will take it very casually. Okay. Like I gave you example regarding being on time. If there are no punishment attached to it, then people will simply ignore it. They will come on time for a few days, and afterwards when they find that nobody is getting punishment for being late, then why should we also need to come on time, right? So list consequence, list all the thing that you are supposed to have if somebody is doing unethical behavior. You will see some of the rules, like if somebody is not wearing a uniform, here also you are aware, right? Then they are getting some kind of problem. Here in Marwadi also, if faculty is not wearing a uniform, then also they are facing some trouble. In other companies also, the same rules and regulations are there. It is mandatory. Some of the time people are getting salary cut as well. This is kind of problem, they consequence they will face if they are not following rules and regulation. If somebody is not coming on time, if they are being late, 3 times late is allowed in one whole month. But if people are consistently coming late, then they may get salary cut. This is also sorry, basic rule you will find in normally all the corporation, right? So if there are no strictness in the rules, then people will take it lightly and they won't follow it. So this is also another way. Yeah. Then the fourth one is have a rules at all the level. Sometimes you also need to make modification in, because continuously some of the things are very changing. Like you are aware that in the current COVID situation, many of the corporations started having work from home, and it was mandatory thing. Okay. So some of the companies even wanted to check whether the people there at home are working or not. So I also heard in news that a few companies made it mandatory for their employee to have camera on continuously for those working hours. So sometimes you also need to have additional rules, modification in the rules, because there is a need of the time. And the fifth one is shift justice or disciplinary action. Set some example as well. Don't just say that, don't just give a threat to your employees sometime. I'm not discussing about always giving a threat, but set some example as well. If somebody did something wrong, like in your company, somebody stole the data from the company server and you found it through CCTV or through somebody's complaint. If the person already found guilty, then take some disciplinary action against that person, like terminate the person, demote that person. If this kind of actions are taken, then others will also get the idea that yes, we should not have to do it. Otherwise, we can have the same negative effect on our career, right? So it is also mandatory to have. So these are the 5 basic steps in order to solve unethical issues at workplace. Now we'll discuss about the corporate governance, and I'll also give you examples so that you can relate it. The first one is many corporations conduct an ethical audit, and at the same time, they are continuously looking for many ways to be more ethical. There are companies who are focusing on ethical behavior of their employee as well as in their activity as well. So they are having ethical audit at the end of a few years, and they are checking out whether all the people are following ethics or not. If uh, there are problem, if unethical activities are happening, then how to stop it? Through ethical audit, they can get the idea. So corporate governance is similar to this. One important slok from Rigved also says that a businessman should benefit from business like honeybee, which takes honey from flower without affecting its charm and beauty. Right. We are aware that industries need to utilize the natural resources, and sometime in order to do that, they are also creating negative impact for the environment. Okay, and for the other people as well, general public as well. They also need to make sure that they will minimize the carbon pollution and many of the other aspects, and they also need to find out some other alternatives, like you will see a company which is emitting carbon dioxide in big amount. So in order to resort it, they should have to plant a trees in nearby area. Like this kind of activities they can do. There was one case regarding Coca-Cola. If I haven't discussed about the same here, it was about Coca-Cola and its operation in South India. When they started their business, they set up the industry in South India. You are aware that they need to have water. That's the basic ingredient for Coca-Cola, for all the soft drinks, right? So they were using groundwater. And for a big company to manufacture a maximum amount of production, they need to use a good amount of groundwater as well. So they started their industry, and they were taking lots of groundwater from that area. And later on, it also created a trouble for nearby people, local people. They found it very troublesome for their own daily life because they were not getting enough amount of groundwaters. Everything was just captured by the Coca-Cola. So they filed a complaint, and there was even protest also happened. After that, court also guided them that try to have some alternative, make sure that ground level for the local people will also remain intact. So how they can do it? So they started using rainwater harvesting technique, and they wanted to have a big pond somewhere so that all the water from the rain can get restored and groundwater level can be maintained. So they started the same. So it is sometime by force something is happening, but they need to accept that as their responsibility. Companies should have to understand that as their responsibility. They are taking something back from the society. So in other way, they need to give it back to the people as well. Third point is corporate governance is considered as the entire system with the codes, values, rules, and structure to control the goals and the goal performance of the companies. Normally, you will see that companies are having code of conduct, and they are having code of conduct report as well. In one of the module, I'll also show you the actual code of conduct report of few known companies like Infosys or something, right? Unilever and somewhere. You can even find it on their website. They are having this report, a PDF file, in which they are specifying everything. What is expected from the employee, what they should have to do. If they did something wrong, then what kind of trouble they may face. Okay. What are the things which they should have to avoid? Everything will get specified there. not only about employee. They some of the code of conduct report are also specifying about their supplier, because from the supplier also they are taking few contract and they are dealing a business activity. So in order to have ethical practice there, they are also specifying that as an supplier what you should have to expect from the company. What is our general practice, like will we call for a bid system or will directly give you contract, or for how many years we'll have a partnership, likewise everything will get specified there. So rules and regulation, values, what kind of values they are having within their organization, what kind of values as an employee one should have to follow, everything will part of that corporate governance report. And also this is kind of method by which to evaluate a working of organization in terms of how rights of various parties are defined and distributed. Like I told you, various parties includes employee, supplier, right? Even from the customer, what kind of responsibilities they are having, it will specify there. So in all these facets of corporate governance, the underlying goalposts are transparency, integrity, full disclosure of financial and non-financial information, protection of stakeholders' interests, everything will written there. Okay. Okay, let's go for this part. Here we'll discuss regarding ethical practices to be followed by the employees. As in employee, what you should have to do, what kind of things, what kind of practices will be observed so that it can be counted as ethical. We'll discuss about all these points one by one. The first is, the basic thing is to obey company's rules. Okay, if you are following rules which is not having even consequence or a big problem listed, then also you need to follow the rules and regulation, because that will showcase your ethical behavior. You will see some of the companies are keeping CCTV camera within their premises, but you will even find some of the area where CCTV camera is not there. So some of the smart people are also finding out that area, that look here, there is no CCTV camera. We can definitely do this thing and company cannot get notice about the same. So there you also need to consider your behavior, because whatever you do, it will shape your behavior. If you start doing something unethical by ignoring company's rule, then not in a shorter period of time you will get caught, but in longer period of time people will get the idea about the same, or your colleague may get the idea or may have a complaint about you in a longer period of time. There is quite possibility. So in order to have ethical practices, one should have to obey company's rule. That is the mandatory, that's the primary step. The second one is communicate effectively. Many times the problems are arising when there is miscommunication. Okay, so your responsibility is to clarify all the thing. If you haven't understood particular thing, try to clarify with your boss. If your boss gave you assignment and you are not familiar with it, try to take a help of your colleague, or even tell your boss that I may need your help. People sometimes they are missing at communication part, and then they are doing unethical thing. Sometimes their intention is not to do unethical act, but because of miscommunication they found themselves in unethical trap. Okay, so this is the basic thing one should have to avoid. Take responsibilities. This is also another ethical practice one can showcase while working in a company. When you are assigned particular task, it will be completely your responsibility to complete that task with perfection. If you are leaving few faults or errors there, then you may do some of the unethical act as well. And people won't take you in a correct way. Your boss may not know that this is without intention you did those error, or you made a mistake there. So take a responsibility. If you are unable to complete it, even tell your boss that I mean get, if I'll get few more days to complete this project, then I'll can complete it. If you are not telling this to your boss, and you are not completing the work, then also you will be considered as unethical person because you are not doing your responsibility in a correct way. Next is trust and respect colleague. That means do have a respect towards the other people, your colleague as well, and have a trust. If there is a environment like people are trusting on each other, then you will find a good team performance. Otherwise, people won't showcase a good performance and they won't be able to complete the organization's goal. Okay, it's quite possible. So uh, many times yeah, one of my boss was also telling this, and let me share this statement. He was saying that in our personal life, we are having complete freedom to choose other person as our friend. We are having freedom to do it, right? So yeah, it's my mobile, don't worry. So normally you will see that you are making somebody as your friend because you are finding that person very good at heart or it is matching with your behavior, but you won't have that choice while you are working in a company. You cannot choose your colleague. You can choose your friend, but you cannot choose your colleagues. You will see all the type of people working there in the company, and you cannot have your preference that I can work only with this guy. No, it's not possible, right? So try to have a respect. Even if you had a fight with your colleague, don't compromise your work because for the work you are there. Otherwise, why company will need you? So this is the basic aspect. Next is professionalism. Try to handle everything with good professional abilities. If you are not following the professionalism in your life, then you cannot achieve your career growth easily. People are getting promoted when they are focusing on their professionalism. Okay, if they are handling every situation with a great ease, even some trouble situation, like if you are meeting your angry customer, this is a normal thing. Even we have also faced in some of the outlets, some of the people will be very angry. Your customer, if they are having a great angry words and using the same while interacting with you, then don't lose your calm. Okay, because that's your job. You need to solve that. If you are also having the same spark, then it can create a trouble. Okay, so professionalism is the main thing. Be accountable. This is also another ethical practice one should have to follow. Whatever work is given to you, it is your responsibility to complete it in a perfect way. And if it is not done, you are going to get responsible for not doing it. So take accountability of whatever work is assigned to you. Okay, now there is a small case study, and you can read about this. In the meanwhile, I'll give you attendance link. We'll discuss about this case study in our next lecture, right? But I want you to read this, so we will discuss in next lecture. Yeah, just a minute. You won't be able to see it. Yeah, so let's go for the attendance. Guys, Google Form link is here in your chat box. You are requested to click on this link and mark your attendance. Once it is done, you are also free to leave. Do read the case study. We'll discuss about this in our next lecture. I'll also take your attendance. Now it's visible, not visible completely. Yeah. Do read this part. $42, 143, 28, 83, 128, 139. Okay. Done with the reading. So quickly complete your attendance if your attendance is yet not done. Abhishek, Ankit, Nirbhay, I hope your attendance is done.